What's up, everybody? All right, guys, so doing another video. I've been doing this the last 2 months where I compare the value of cards in my collection from June 15th this time to May 15th over a 1 month period, and just kind of see where the trends are at. This is something that I was doing anyway, and the fact that you guys enjoy looking at these results as well is always fun to share with you guys. So before I get into that, just two quick pickups I just wanted to show you. So first off, I just picked up this David Ortiz rookie, and you guys might be surprised to see this as a Yankee fan.
What you talking about, Willis?
You know, David Ortiz would give Yankees fits, Yankee fans fits. But this is a great card to pick up. I would assume that he will get into the Hall of Fame in 2021. So it might be a good pickup right now while this card is relatively cheap. In a PSA 10, you can get it for under $300. So there it is, the David Ortiz rookie. And another card I picked up, which may be also kind of surprising, is this 2003 Topps LeBron James. I say surprising only because you guys know I mostly collect baseball. But lately I've been, venturing out a little bit. I bought the Tiger Woods rookie, bought the Tom Brady rookie, bought a Joe Montana rookie. And now I figured I get the LeBron James. I picked up this card because he looks like they're going to, do an NBA playoffs. I wish I could say the same thing for Major League Baseball, which continues to drag their feet on the 2020 season. But LeBron James, his team is one of the heavy favorites to win the NBA playoffs, assuming that they happen in 2020. And I thought, you know what? If he wins another championship, this time with the Lakers, this might be a card to get while it's, at the price that it's at now. So two recent pickups, the David Ortiz and the LeBron James, both in a 10. All right, so on to the top 10 cards going up and the top 10 cards going down. And we'll start with the top 10 cards that are trending down. And so first off, these are at number 10 for cards that are going down in value. So this is a card that is down 12% from May 15th. So this card was going for about $431 in a PSA 9. Down to about $379. So it's down about 12% since May 15th. And of course, this is one of those cards that saw a heavy spike, during the pandemic, and a lot of people are just gravitating towards the 80s cards. And it just was a market correction going, down about 12%. At number 9 is a probably to no surprise, the 1990 Fleer Michael Jordan.
And then resting him a little bit.
This card, I had this going at about $275. I think it was even higher than that, like over $300 at one point. Obviously the Last Dance documentary spiked. And this is it reminds me of the Jeter SP, the 93 Jeter SP, when that card took off in value because Jeter was getting into the Hall of Fame. And then after the announcement, and he got into the Hall of Fame, the cards took a correction and they went down, and that's the time to buy. So if you guys are interested in buying some Michael Jordan cards, now might be the time to buy, especially if you're seeing this type of correction. So it was at $275. It's down to $240. So it's down 12%. Obviously nowhere near where it was earlier this year, but definitely falling in price. At number 8 is the 89 Griffey in a PSA 10 Fleer. It's so funny because a lot of these cards were on my list of cards that are going up last month, and now they're cards that are going down. Again, just another correction. This was at $180. Is now selling at around $156. Again, in a PSA 10. So just so you guys know, when I'm talking about these values, they're based on being in a PSA 10 holder. So this is down 12.84%. Next up is the Pete Alonso 2019 Topps. This card is down about 13.5%. So this was going at about $75 in mid-May. It's now going for about $65. Now this is, and I mentioned this, before, maybe a couple months ago when the pandemic hit, that cards like guys like Pete Alonso, Vlad Guerrero, Tatis, they're the cards that are going to suffer the most if they don't have a season. And the longer we go into the season without playing, the more of these types of cards are going to take a hit, and the more that people are going to go towards vintage and cards from the 80s or even earlier than that. So it's not a surprise that this is now down to $65. I think this was, selling around $80 to $100 at one point. So now it's down to $65. If you think that they're going to have a season this year, this might be a great card to pick up in a PSA 10. Next up, similar to what I just said, in a PSA 10, the Vlad Guerrero. This is the Topps Chrome version in a PSA 10. It's not a big difference. I mean, it's gone from a $55 card to a $47 card, but that is a 14.5% decrease. And similar to the Alonso, just mainly because there's no season, there's no opportunity for guys like Vlad and Pete Alonso to kind of prove themselves this year. Next up, this shouldn't be a surprise. This is the 83 Topps Tony Gwynn in a PSA 10. So this took a big jump, with the whole 80s boom that's been happening lately. And of course, this card is part of the Topps Project 2020. So this card has gone from a $1,700. I had this at $1,725, and it recently sold for $1,432. So it took a huge jump. I mean, it was at $800 a couple of months ago, went all the way to $1,700, and then recently sold for $1,400. So that is down about 17%. At number 4 on the list is the 89 Upper Deck Randy Johnson in a PSA 10. This card was going as high as $135, is now down to $110. So it's down about 20% from just it. And this is just a 1 month period. This is how much these cards are fluctuating. By the way, overall, in terms of, how cards are doing, overall, the hobby's still doing really well from May to June. I looked at about 200 plus cards, and there were about 20 to 30 cards that were down 5% or more, and there were about 60 to 70 cards that were up 5% or more. So you could see that most cards are still going up, but there are certain cards that just went way too high and now have a market correction. At number 3, in terms of cards that are falling, to no surprise, the 85 Topps McGwire in a PSA 9. And this card is gone just insane. I actually watched the 30 for 30. I didn't have a lot of high expectations for it. I really enjoyed it. I don't know about you guys. I really enjoyed the McGwire, Sosa. It was fun reliving, the home run chase that they had.
Chicks dig the long ball.
So anyway, this card's gone from a $335 card to a $235 card. That's a 30% decrease in 1 month. Next up at number 2 is the Jose Canseco. So similar to the McGwire card, this took a huge went up to, I was laughing, I think, at the last video that this had hit $641 in a PSA 10. Is now down to a $450 card, which is way higher than it was a couple of months ago, but that is a 30% decrease. And then at number 1, in terms of cards that are down from May, and I mentioned it earlier, and, I guess it's just a market correction. This card in a PSA 6, I saw some sales for as high as $5,000. And then about a month later, recently, I'm seeing this card go. Now, sales are all over the place. But the latest one that I saw, nicely centered, good looking PSA 6 of the 86 Fleer is going for $3,500. So that's a $1,500 decrease. You get it for $1,500 less than you did last month. So what I'm saying now, all these cards, if you like these cards, this might be a great opportunity to buy. And that's kind of the cool part of, these types of videos. When you do this analysis, you can see that, some of these cards, now that the shine is worn off on the Michael Jordan cards a little bit, and cards have come down.
The glove. I had no problem with the glove.
now's a great time to buy. And I proved it with the Jeter, the 93 Jeter SP. I'm so glad I bought it when I did. The Tom Brady rookie, I'm so glad that I bought it when I did. It's sort of like after, the hype wears off, that's usually the time to pounce on these types of cards. All right, on to the top 10 going up. And some of these cards are really, really random. So part of the problem, and so anyway, at number 10 is these two cards. The Topps Giants. I have no idea why these cards would randomly just go up. But I think the main reason is because there's not a lot of sales on these types of cards. So all it takes is one sale. But these cards are both up around 33%, and I'm putting these both at number 10. So the Mickey Mantle was selling at about 150. It's now selling at around 200 in a PSA 8. And the Clemente was going for around 90. It's now going for 120 in a PSA 8. Now, it could just be one rogue, a couple of rogue sales that caused that, but that is a 33% increase on both of these cards, which, by the way, I mean, these are just absolutely beautiful cards. If you can get your hands on one of these, I highly recommend it. They're beautiful cards. All right, at number 9, let's see. Yeah, number 9 is the 85 Donruss Dwight Gooden in a PSA 10. So this is one of those cards, like we saw the 80s just go crazy last month, and there were certain cards that really didn't take off, and this was one of them, actually. And I think I actually did a video where I was talking about cards that didn't, that I recommended about a year ago, but right before the National, that I thought were great investments that you can get for under $50. This was one of the cards that hadn't changed in value, and then sure enough, here it's changed in value. This is a card that you could have gotten about a month ago for $80. It is now selling for about $111. So that's a 38% increase on the Dwight Gooden. At number 8 is the Wade Boggs. And again, this might just be certain 80s cards sort of catching up. Like you saw the McGuire card was the Griffey card was the first card to take off. Then you saw the McGuire cards take off, the Jose Canseco, the Barry Bonds, and now you're getting down to like the Wade Boggs, the Dwight Goodens. So this is a card that you could have gotten for about $80 on May 15th. It's now going for $117. So that is a 47% increase, and that's on a PSA 9, believe it or not. At number 7 is the Clemens. So this card has gone crazy the last month or so, sort of catching up with the Barry Bonds and the McGuire and the Jose Canseco. This is a card that's up 48%. It's gone from a $1,400 card to a $2,075 card over the last month. And I've been talking a lot about it over the last couple of weeks because I've been like, maybe I should sell it. I've held on to it. It's up 48%. I would expect, with all these cards, by the way, that we are going to see a correction. These cards will go down. In fact, they probably be on my list of cards going down next, when I do this video again in a month. Next card. Now, this is a card that maybe you won't see. So this is the 2012 Topps opening day. It's funny because this was on my video last month as cards going up. It had gone from a $50 card to a $100 card, and now it's gone from a $100 card to a $150 card. And this is just an example of the 2011 Topps update, just, people being priced out of it. And so they're going for, okay, what other rookie can I get? Maybe I'll go after the finest card. Maybe I'll go after the Bowman Sterling 2011 rookie, or maybe I'll go after a second year card. And that's what this is, the 2012 Topps opening day. It went from 100 to 150, so it's up 50%. Next up, sometimes you just can't explain it, but this card just continues to go up. And I think part of the reason why this is a card that's in such demand is like, when you close your eyes and you think of a tobacco card, you think of, at least for me, I think of this Ty Cobb card, with the red background, beautiful card. This is only in a 1.5, but recently there was a sale for this card for $2,850. So the last sale that I saw for something like this was $1,900. So that's a 50% increase, almost $1,000 increase. Just one of those cards is becoming more and more iconic. The T206 red background, and you never know. I mean, there could be another sale that goes off for a 1.5 for $2,000, and then it goes down again. All it takes is one sale. Another card that's kind of surprising to see on this list is the 71 Topps Munson. I think, one of the reasons why this is on the list, and by the way, this has gone from selling at around $100 to about $156, so a 56% increase. I think this is really, just goes to show that people are really into the cards, that the sets that are tougher to grade. And of course, you think of the 93 SP, you think of the 1971 Topps set, and this is just a beautiful card. And of course, people are getting back into the 80s, but then there's of course also people that are getting back into the 70s cards, and people are just, I think, see this as one of the nicest cards from the 70s, the Thurman Munson. All right, at number 3, and another kind of random card. I don't know how this gets on the list, but you can see, again, the bounce back of the Derek Jeter cards. This was going in the purple, and this is a very specific, a purple refractor, 2013 Topps Chrome, and a PSA 10. The highest I saw it going for was about $60. I saw a recent sale of this for $100. Beautiful card. I don't think you can go wrong with any, Mike Trout, Ken Griffey Jr., Derek Jeter, any card, that's graded high. I think those are going to be great investments. And this just goes to show that Jeter, just a base Bowman Chrome Jeter, obviously it's a purple refractor in a PSA 10, now going for $100. And that would be a 66% increase. At number 2, and I love that this is at number 2, and you guys know I'm a huge Don Mattingly fan. I couldn't believe it when I saw that this card was bid up to $3,550 recently. I would love to see what the 84 Topps Tiffany would go for at this point in a PSA 10. There have been nothing's even been sold in a PSA 10 for the Mattingly, but this card is up 81%. This was going for around $2,000, is now up to $3,550. Now there's, I would assume that this will come down a little bit. It depends on the, auction, but this card, just the fact that it's going this was going about a year ago for like $800 and now going for $3,550. Just unbelievable.
What keeps you going? I was 4 years old when you started.
It's been that long?
We were collecting your baseball card.
And at number 1, and this is going to be one of the strangest number 1s ever. At number 1, up 118%, is the Darryl Strawberry. I can't explain it, guys. 84 Fleer Darryl Strawberry. All I could say is what I said before, is that, certain cards are like lagging. You have, the bigger cards that are obvious, and now, people are going towards the, maybe the lesser names. But the 84 Fleer Strawberry was going for about $80. You can get this card for $80 about a month ago. In 1 month, it's gone from an $80 card to a $175 card. That is a 118% increase.
You're Darryl Strawberry.
Yes.
You play right field.
Yes.
I play right field too.
So?
Well, are you better than me?
Well, I never met you, but yes.
In 1 month. So there you have it, guys. Top 10 cards going up, top 10 cards going down, and my 2 recent pickups of the LeBron James and the David Ortiz. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you guys enjoy these types of videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you later. Peace.